Kia ora, good evening. Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern's put one of Labour's biggest promises into action. The government's announced foreign buyers will be banned from buying existing houses from next year. A move that's being backed by one of New Zealand's top housing experts. Kate Nicholl-Williams with this.
Less than a week in the new job, Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern's making fast tracks, announcing foreigners will be forced out of our housing market from early next year.
This will mean that non-residents or non-citizens cannot purchase existing residential dwellings in New Zealand.
It's part of the Coalition's commitment to increasing New Zealand home ownership.
We stand strongly in favour of the view that housing is a right.
But one housing expert says the move won't provide much help for house hunters.
It's more symbolic than it is economic, so it's certainly not going to lead to a decrease in house prices, but what it will do is take some of that pressure off the increase in prices that may have continued with the investment, with foreign investment into the market.
The Property Institute's welcoming the move, saying the fact foreigners can still buy homes under construction will help reduce the housing crisis.
They're actually going to invest in houses in New Zealand and they're not living here, that those will become rental accommodation, and that's good for the country.
It's unlikely there'll be a surge in foreigners buying up before the law change.
The talk of 20-30% of the market being foreign investors was probably not true, and that the figure's more likely to be somewhere between 6 and 8%.
The opposition says it didn't investigate the ban when in government and believes it's unwarranted.
Suggesting this is an issue is, I think, Labor trying to meet a political need based on what the commitments they made before the election, not actually an economic need.
To ban foreigners, the government will have to change the Overseas Investment Act to classify residential housing as sensitive and introduce a residency test. Labour's dismissed criticism this breaches trade agreements with Japan, China and Korea, instead saying the only partnership breached is an agreement with Singapore. Australians won't be affected. And the legislation's being introduced before Christmas and will be passed early next year. The change needs to take effect before the TPP 11 trade deal is signed next year to comply with the agreement. It's an area Ms Ardern's expected to discuss with Australian Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull in Sydney this Sunday, ahead of the APEC meeting in Vietnam next week. Kate Nicholl-Williams, One News.